The bikies came to town and crashed the party. Task Force Takeback was set up. A highly trained squad of dedicated officers. This 100-strong team grew into the Rapid Action and Patrols. They bust the dealers. They target organised crime. They keep the peace in paradise. Gold Coast Cops. Tonight on Gold Coast Cops. A manhunt is on for a fugitive on a return to jail warrant.
Please, open the door.
RAP officers dig deep for some dangerous contraband.
No, I don't want to look at your junk. I want to make sure that you've got nothing stashed down the front of your undies. Jim?
And a bikie viciously assaults two cabbies.
He's got him by the back of the neck there.
We're not going to give up on this one. We'll get this bikie behind bars.
Constable Kelsey Shorrocks and her team are heading out to execute a return to prison warrant.
We all joined to help people. I know I did. And once you actually start getting into it, there is nothing better than that rush you get when you get a big job. We live for that next big job, that next big challenge.
You never really know. It's pretty unpredictable with return to prison warrants, but the worst case scenario is they want to fight and won't end too well if he does. We've got the dog squad with us today, so it should be interesting if he does.
Police dog Hondo and his handler, Senior Constable Nick Donald, are ready for action.
Sort of slipping behind you and we'll swamp the address.
The team swiftly surround the house.
Please, open the door.
Then Hondo gets a whiff of danger.
Dog.
They quickly secure the man's dog.
Please. Anybody home? Dog's in a bedroom. Please, come out. Everything's on, that's weird.
The TV and lights are on, but so far there's no sign of the wanted man. Then, out of nowhere, a second dog appears, and he's not playing so nice. Kelsey and the team search the house from top to bottom. It seems the first dog's warning was enough.
Where did he go?
I reckon he's jumped the fence. He had to have been someone here.
The wanted man is on the run. It's after midnight in a back street of Surfers Paradise, and Senior Constable James Murdoch and Constable Dave Hanna are on patrol.
I do like to patrol the back streets. Old Billy Road is a rat run from the back way of surfers, and quite often we'll catch drink drivers coming down through that area. The thing that motivates me is this is where I live, this is where my family live. It's a great place. There's just a few of those people out there that just want to ruin it for everybody, okay, whether it be the excess of alcohol or drugs. I particularly detest drugs. I need to get out there and lock these people up and keep our streets safe because my kids walk on these streets.
Tonight on the infamous Rat Run, Jim and Dave have just pulled over a car travelling erratically through a roundabout.
Thank you very much.
And it's not long before Jim sniffs out trouble.
Guys, someone been smoking dope tonight? Okay, I just got a whiff of it then. Someone smoked it the last 12 hours.
It smells like around here.
What's that, sorry? I just got it. I don't know what a bat poo smells like as well, but I just got a whiff of it then. Has someone got it on their clothing that they've had for the last couple of days or something like that?
The occupants of the car are keen to help identify the smell.
How about yourself? No? Okay. That burnt, acrid smell of cannabis is just unmistakable. Now, what I'm going to do is going to detain you guys for a short time for the purpose of a search. Understood? Well, I'll start with you, driver, if you want to jump out.
While the driver was sure about the smell, he appears less certain about the contents of his pockets.
Nothing else left in your pockets?
Yeah, I think there is some. Yeah, there is.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I'll get you to step out too, thanks, mate.
Dave finds a set of scales in the suspect's back pocket.
Jim?
And his beanie is a balaclava.
Could be used for anything, obviously, to hide one's identity.
The question is, what else is he hiding?
Well, mate, this is the embarrassing part of the job. All you're going to do is pull your jocks forward. OK, I don't want to have to look at your tackle, but I just want to make sure you're not stashing anything down your undies.
Why, though? You really want to look at my...
No, I don't want to look at your junk. I want to make sure that you've got nothing stashed down the front of your undies.
Kelsey and her team are on the hunt for an offender on a return to prison warrant.
Please, open the door.
But they've been outsmarted by two watchdogs who've alerted the man to their arrival. But Kelsey's not about to call it quits. She calls HQ to check on another lead.
Do we have a address or...?
We got on to our intel guys who gave us some information that he could also be staying with his mum. So basically we're going to go to Southport, to her address, and just see if he's there. We're lucky enough that they have security 24 hours a day, unlike a lot of the buildings around, so we've been able to get security down. They've got a key that can access every room in the building, so that's really helpful.
Police!
Please.
Police, anybody here? Police.
It looks like the fugitive is one step ahead of them.
Police.
But then Kelsey spots a figure on the balcony.
Please. Put your hands up. Hands up. Yep. You're under arrest, you're on a return to prison warrant. So obviously you know that corrective services have issued a warrant. Yeah, okay. He knew exactly what was going on. He knew that he was wanted and had spoken to parole. It feels especially good to get your man when you've had to put in that little bit of extra effort. He gets to spend the next 28 days having to think about his choices in life, and we'll spend the next 28 days trying to find some more bad guys. It's a good outcome.
Jim and Dave have just pulled over a car seen weaving all over the road. A search of the driver's pants has produced a set of scales and a balaclava. So the rap team are wondering what else he's hiding down there. It seems the guy has a small drug business stashed down his dacks.
Jim?
As well as the set of scales, he has 25 grams of cannabis and about 50 ecstasy pills.
Just shuffle yourself up there best you can. Make yourself comfortable, you're on. And if there's another rap crew nearby, if we can get some assistance.
Have you got any weapons on you?
Jim's biggest concern is for the buyers of these party pills.
They think from one week to another they might buy the same pill, but eventually they'll get another pill in the system and it's been made by something completely different. They'll have a bad reaction to it and overdose, the next thing they're in hospital. Over the last 15 years, I've seen people die from a bad pill. You got anything on your wish you've declared to me now?
I do have a small amount of marijuana. It's a real tiny amount. About a gram in it.
Okay. Right, young fella.
While the second bloke fesses up, his mate is clean.
Righto, young lady, if you'd like to step out, thank you.
And the young lady appears most put out by the evening's turn of events.
Nothing in your handbag?
No.
Okay. Can I just have a look in there then?
Yeah.
You've got no knives, guns or drugs on you at all? Okay, just want to sit there.
Just as backup arrives, a search of the car turns up a very nasty item.
Had a flicking. Spring-loaded, which can be opened with one hand. Extremely dangerous and not legal. Under the driver.
Under her. It was only ever manufactured for one purpose, and that was for intimate combat. Who owns the knife?
I'm not aware of any knives.
Not aware of any knife?
No.
Okay, do you normally carry knives?
I don't carry one. I wasn't aware there was one in the vehicle.
Young lady, you want to stand up and come over here and have a chat for me? At your feet, I located a brown-handled knife. Do you know anything about that? Are you able to tell me anything about that? Does it belong to you? No?
For now, no one's owning up to the knife.
The driver has been charged with 2 counts of possess a dangerous drug for the pills and the cannabis. The amount of pills that he's got and the suggestion that he's selling, we need to investigate that further, and that's why I'm going to step it up a notch and get the CIB guys to come in and have a chat to him.
A knife and a balaclava puts a whole new complexion on the case.
When you're combining weapons, drugs and balaclavas, it's never a good mix.
But there's one last twist.
The young lady in the back made certain admissions in relation to owning the knife. She was able to describe it, and she's been charged with a weapons charge.
For Jim, it's a great result.
It's a satisfying feeling to be able to get your job right and get it done. I would have suggested those pills would have been distributed over this coming weekend through the night front precincts, and, you know, small dent that it is, we've put a dent in it. Who knows what's in those tablets at this time? Obviously, we'll send them away to be analysed, but potentially we've saved 50 people tonight.
Coming up, tracking down a violent bikie.
This bloke knows we're after him. Bikies have access to all different sorts of weapons.
And later on, fear and loathing in the neighbourhood.
What's wrong with you?
When Sergeant Carla Sara's not out on the road, she's honing her team's firearms skills on the range.
All right, this got 4 magazines ready to go.
What we do here is basically officer survival.
1 shot on target. Now!
It's something that we need to take very seriously.
It's always important to know how to shoot in case we need to actually pull our gun out, especially if my life's on the line. I'd like to hit my target.
Obviously, if you were to use a firearm, it's because you fear that grievous bodily harm or death is going to happen to yourself or someone else or your partner.
Inspect weapon!
Carla didn't always enjoy this aspect of the job.
I didn't like guns at all, so it was only after I got on the course, so we got to shoot for 10 days straight and you become comfortable with the weapon, that I really enjoyed it.
Make sure your knees are bent. Right, I shouldn't be able to push you back.
It's the fundamentals of our shooting, so we always just need to make sure that we lock out our elbows and we have what's called a high thumbs grip.
Just make sure there's no gap there.
And it's making sure that the basics are what we're following. Now, we aim for our armpit hold area. When we're yelling at them, it's because we've got earmuffs on and it's really saying to the guys, okay, pay attention, listen up, this is serious. At the end of the day, we want to all go home.
Check, check. Slide forward holster.
You're basically being a mentor to junior staff. That's what I find satisfying here.
Everyone hand your ammo to the instructors.
Senior Constable Glenn Shaw and Constable Nick Irby are on their way to Miami to investigate an assault case.
I didn't join this job to be a hero whatsoever. I joined to do something different every day. I wanted to do something where I had a sense of self-worth, where I could be making a difference to the community, taking criminals off the streets and making a small difference, chipping in.
Nick and Glenn are looking into claims by a taxi driver that he's been viciously assaulted outside a bar.
Apparently this person's assaulted him and tried to take over the wheel of the taxi. The cabbie's told police that he's actually run into the tandoori restaurant over there just for a safe place to hide, I guess. He was pretty scared of this big bloke. He feared for his life, so he wanted to get away quick smart. No cameras. Did you want to speak to anyone in there?
Go and have a look, yeah.
The main suspect in relation to this matter is a member of a criminal motorcycle gang. I believe it is one of the Lone Wolves members.
Nick and Glenn are wondering if he was drinking in the bar beforehand.
That's it, isn't it?
That looks like our horse, I reckon. Yeah.
We sighted the bikie in there with his mates. We've got some good footage in there now. We've just got to piece it together with the incident that occurred in the taxi.
These cab drivers are out trying to make a living and working just like us. Because he reckons he's tough, that he's just going to pick on them. That's what bikies do.
They head back to RAP headquarters where CCTV images have just come in. From not one, but 2 cabs.
Cabbie here, see his shoulder, his shirt.
That's our horse.
That's a tattoo that he would have had when he was in the feeder club for the Lone Wolves, the Kumi Cubs. They used to cause a bit of mischief on the Gold Coast.
They look at the images from the first cab.
Shoulder, his shirt, that's his head. And Bikey's here with the beard. That's his arm reaching right over the top of the shoulder of the cabbie.
And then reaches over from the back and grabs the steering wheel.
People can't drive drunk in the front seat, let alone the back seat. So, yeah, it could have ended in tragedy, realistically.
After bringing the cab to a stop, the bikie seems to have dragged the taxi driver out onto the street.
That's him probably being taken out of the driver's seat.
He's in the driver's seat.
He's in the driver's seat.
He's going for a drive.
He definitely shouldn't be there. He's drunk as well, by the looks of things. So now he went in the other cab.
The bikie has then jumped into another cab.
He's got him by the back of the neck there. That's why he's taking his shirt off to box on.
That's the cabbie head there.
Yeah, that's his head, that's his shirt, 100%. We've got 2 assaults. We've got him under the influence of alcohol in the driver's seat. We've got attempted unlawful use of the vehicle. He's not wearing a seatbelt. He's drunk, and that's why we're going to go arrest him.
Tracking down this lone wolf may not be easy, but Nick is up for the challenge.
We're not going to give up on this one. We'll get this bikie behind bars.
Glenn and Nick are on the hunt for a dangerous bikie who has gone to ground after allegedly assaulting not 1, but 2 taxi drivers. Their first stop is the Lone Wolf Clubhouse.
He's a confirmed member of the Lone Wolves criminal motorcycle gang. They have shut up shop, but because he's a member, he might be hiding out there.
But the clubhouse is abandoned. And there's no joy at the nearby gym. The boys are running out of addresses, so they pay a visit to the suspect's father.
G'day, mate. Glenshaw, Gold Coast Police. How you going? Come on, good. Is son here?
No.
Oh, okay, no worries.
My son's 31.
Yeah, that's okay. We're just running out of addresses, that's all, mate.
No, he's not here.
Yep.
Very rare for him to come over inside the border.
Okay.
Recent Queensland legislation has made bikie gangs illegal, so many have gone to ground or interstate.
Dad said, look, he doesn't come into Queensland because of these new laws. He's rarely up here. He was surprised he was here. But Dad did concede that if you go out and play art, these sort of things happen.
At this point, the bikie could go either way. He could arm up or own up.
Obviously, the thing that's not in our favour is this bloke knows we're after him. It's been on the media. He knows Mum and Dad have told him we're after him, so he's got the upper hand now. He's a bikie. Bikies have access to all different sorts of, weapons, so we've got to be really on the game. He knows we're out to get him.
Glenshaw.
They get word that he's handed himself in to Southport Watch House.
I'm more than happy for him to walk into the station and present himself and charge him from there rather than get into a wrestle with someone who's 110 kilos. So, yeah, no, it's nice to see.
How you going? Glenshaw, Gold Coast Police. We'll just go through the formalities. Yep. So I'll officially place you under arrest for assault. He's facing 7 charges. We've got the assault, occasioning bodily harm. We've got attempted unlawful use for that taxi cab. The second cab incident, he's facing dangerous interference with a motor vehicle and under the influence of liquor whilst in charge of a motor vehicle and also being a public nuisance.
We've got him, we've done our job, and he's in the watch house, so it's a win for us.
It's Sunday afternoon, and Sergeant Carla Sara and Constable Josh Ford have been called to assist at a disturbance on the street.
Of course, our job is dangerous, but it's about not being complacent. And it's a matter of just thinking about what you're doing before you do it. There are a few females here in the unit. We obviously don't have the physical strength of men, but we can sometimes talk our way out of things a lot better.
Yeah, we're in Scarborough Street now, looking up for this male.
A member of the public has reported a man walking along the road wielding a knife.
Go up 726 off with those guys. I think they have 1 male in custody.
The reason that we're here is that we've got witnesses on the street who claim that you've been carrying a knife and you've threatened someone. Do you understand that? That's what we're investigating, all right? What can you tell me about that?
I was just scaring someone off.
Where was the guy that you were trying to threaten or trying to scare?
In the car. I told him to get out of the car. He drove off his window.
Yeah.
And I slapped the back of the window with my hand and he drove off.
So why did you want to scare him?
He's sleeping with my girlfriend.
So this is the girlfriend that you live with at home?
Yeah.
And are you still together?
I was like, really?
Are you under the influence of anything at the moment?
No, I'm just angry. I was just angry, that's all.
All right.
And he's not the only one. A woman who happened to witness the scene vents her spleen.
What's wrong with you? All right, so you've caused fear to people in the public by your actions today. Do you understand that?
RAP officers soon locate the knife in question.
So you used that knife to threaten someone with?
I didn't threaten no one.
What was your intention?
Just to scare him.
He's certainly done that. He's managed to terrorise the entire neighbourhood.
The offence that we're looking at is going armed to cause fear in a public place. Up here, sir.
This man's Sunday stroll with a knife has ended in a trip to the watch house.